All righty. Up next, behind every successful artist.
Yes, is an incredible woman.
The Universoul Circus is known as the coolest show on earth, and for almost 30 years, can you believe it, the Universoul Circus has brought its jaw-dropping combination of circus arts, theater, and music to every culture, family, and generation. People from all over the world have enjoyed thousands of shows over the years, and the fun continues. Joining us now to discuss the evolution and inspiration behind the Universoul Circus is founder Cedric Walker. I want to welcome you to FOXSOUL's Black Report.
Well, thank you so much, Courtney. Thank you.
Indeed.
It's a pleasure, and thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Let's start with congrats on 30 years. 30 years. They said it couldn't be done. I remember the beginning days.
Sure.
Yeah.
Detroit.
I remember that. So let's go back to the beginning and what inspired you to create the Universoul Circus.
Well, it was an idea whose time had come. Family attractions in America did not have a show that reflected the urban experience, the music, the dance, the swagger, the laughter, that was celebrated in our culture just wasn't represented in family attractions. So we created something that represented that grandmother, father, daughter, son, and grandchild could all sit on the same row and enjoy each other while enjoying the show.
Yeah, so talk to us a little bit about Universoul Circus and the whole experience, what we can experience. I know it's just not a black circus, but you have incorporated acts of color from around the world. Talk a little bit about that.
So our culture is so rich and diverse until it impacts every culture.
Yeah.
It impacts global culture. And it's shared. So young people, the circus was made up of young people, 28. Who's going to fly through the air and off of a trapeze but an 18 or a 20-year-old? And they all love that urban energy. They all love the hip hop. They all love the dance. They all love the music that Universoul represents. So they are drawn to this presentation. So we've got a diverse group of performers that all share that common energy, that soul that we share with the world. Yeah. But it's all about audience interaction. When you come to Universoul, you're in the audience, but you're part of the show. Call and response. You're dancing in your seat. You're in the ring. We include the audience just as much as we think the audience are performers as well. But it's all about uplifting culture. It's about the positive aspects of our culture. When we first created it, we thought about when blacks first were on TV. We thought about our achievements in sports. We thought about our spirituality. We thought about our music. So we incorporated, if you came to Detroit and moving on up to the top, the Jacksons, music from Motown, the spirituality at the end of the show. So it just encompasses the richness of our culture and the positive aspects of it.
It really does. It just runs the gamut. So, you start the Universoul Circus. How did you go about finding, the talent, the artists for the show? And I'm sure over the 30 years that has expanded because these acts are just unbelievable. They really do take your breath away. They really do. As you can tell, I've been to the Universoul Circus a few times myself.
So, we traveled the world. When I first had an idea, I said, well, I'm going to get a chance to travel around the world because that's what I heard and read about circus entrepreneurs, how they found talent. And so that's what we did. But what we found early on was we had some great black performers that were performing in Europe. European circuses were more lenient, I would say, or more artsy, focused on art. So that was the place where I found a lot of great black performers performing. And we had some in the United States. The Ringling Brothers had the King Charles Troupe, and Pamela Hernandez. So they contributed as well. So but the performers that performed on these shows had to be great. So I was very fortunate and when the call went out for a circus that featured Black performers, it was answered from around the world. It was something that all the Black performers around the world called, and so that was the first one. What we found was there were very few, and it was limited to the few we found early on. So we had to go out and create training camps in these various countries. And in South Africa, there was a circus school in Cape Town. We worked with a circus school in Guinea-Conakry. We work with circus schools in Ethiopia, and we actually set trainers to those schools or incorporated training from Chinese trainers, Russian trainers, because they excelled in the art of circus.
So let me ask you this, Cedric. So what do you, with that in mind, what do you think is the biggest difference between a regular circus clown and a Universal Circus clown? I mean, for the soulmates who haven't seen the Soul Circus just yet.
So if you haven't seen Fresh to Clowns, you're in for a real treat. It's all about the dance, the laughter, and the music with our clowns. It's not built on gags, but it's just built on the urban energy and the use and the dance movements and the new dances. So, yeah. Our clowns are just different, and they're out there in the audience, in the aisles with you. So it's a big difference.
Indeed. All right. So what is this year's schedule looking like, and how can our soulmates learn more about the Universoul Circus and when it's coming to the individual cities? Connect us, link us up.
So our theme is we all belong. So we all belong in this world. We all belong, all races, all cultures, at the Universoul Circus. And right now we're currently in Los Angeles. And we're moving from and we're here through we just started this weekend, and we're here for the next 6 to 8 weeks. And then we move to Oakland in May, middle of May, at the Hilltop Mall in Richmond. Then we move from there to Washington, D.C., at National Harbor at the 4th of July, as we normally do. And then it's off to New York, to the Bronx, to Queens and Brooklyn.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. Let me say again, congratulations on 30 years. Everybody was questioning it, said it couldn't be done, said it was a pit bull in a lion's costume, but it's the real deal, and it's definitely a cut above. And we just congratulate you. Safe travels. We can't wait till you get to a town, so all of the soulmates can partake. Cedric Walker, founder of the Universoul Circus, thank you for your time today. You are an official soulmate, and we got to have you back to talk a little bit more. Travel safe on that tour as well. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
The Soul Circus, let me tell you. So like I was saying in the interview, I remember them coming to Detroit. It was one of the test cities.
I remember that. I've been live with the Universoul Circus so many times.
Really?
Had such a great time because growing up, I had never seen an all-black circus. So when I got there, I was like, what?
And then for us, it was all about, he mentioned it, Ringling, Barney, Bailey, Barney, Ringling. That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
And so, years and years and years later, here comes the Universoul Circus, and you're seeing these amazing acts of color from across the world. And it's like, whoa. Yeah. We've always been talented.
Ringmaster and everything. Yeah. I love the whole thing.
It's a good time. It
all
really
about
is.
that.